Right.
Right.
So, let me just think. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts about an endowment, and what do you like the idea about that, a permanent charitable fund? And you've answered it a little bit, but if you can just talk about that endowment, especially as a way that is here forever to benefit these causes.
Well, there's a couple of aspects to that. First, the basic idea of an endowment is that once the funds go in, they stay and grow. And in our current economy and the way that our country operates financially, this is a heck of a deal because it really does work. We have an economy that rewards savings through growth in stock value or interest on bonds or whatever. And so having an endowment means that annually you can achieve your goals just from gains and never touch the principal. And that makes a lot of sense to me. The other thing that I like about most of the organizations that I'm involved with is that they allow you to have a named endowment. In other words, not only does it feel good to give the money, but it feels good to have your name on it, your name and your wife's name. And so we've been able to set up, Gloria and I have been able to set up named endowments with the Rotary Foundation, with the University of Alaska Foundation, and we know that they're there. Our name is on it. The gain that comes out, they will let us know, give us a report, and we'll usually get consulted about a goal for spending some of the gains. I mean, it's really a nice deal.
That's great. I'm such a good spokesperson. That's so good. So what does it mean to you to have the Tally Fund and to have the Anchorage International Rotary Scholarship now have permanent philanthropic funds? Actually, I don't think that the Rotary one is permanent. I think they're still experimenting with it. So let's talk about the Tally Fund and to talk about that being a permanent. Oh, actually, let me change this. What does it mean to you to have these two funds have long-term, funds, long-term, they're invested for the long term. It gets the same returns as the endowment. So what does it mean to you that these two funds will be able to have long-term funds?
Well, and actually, from the beginning, both of them have been focused in that direction, that it was going to be an endowment model, if you will, never spending the principal. But of course, that's subject to the choices of the board that's in the operating position at the time, and they could draw into the principal, although they haven't that I'm aware of. But to have an endowment that is kind of codified, as you will, and it generates its growth from again bequests and other kinds of major donor effort as opposed to annual fundraising, but still generates gains which can be used for the goals of the organization. I think that's a really key issue is here is a source of annual gains, expected gains anyway. So far, so good. That allows you to augment your annual fundraising to the point where you can double or triple your annual scholarship awards, for instance, and that really is a reward to all of the members, because when we see all the scholarships given out and we see the young people that have received them and we hear them and they write nice letters or come and speak to us or whatever, that, is a real positive feedback that we're doing some good.
I am so going to get you on a donor panel one day. I think I just want to have one last question, because I think that this is, again, in your own words. I can be able to share this and how easy it is for other people. But tell me what your experience has been like working with the Alaska Community Foundation.
Well, it was fairly simple, mainly because, of course, I had a personal relationship with Beth from prior efforts, and as bringing you into as a member of my Rotary Club and everything like that, that once I broached the subject, the concept, to the Tally Fund, then I was able to organize a direct presentation to the board, and you guys showed up right away and had the nice handouts and answered the questions the way that they needed to be answered, that sort of thing. So getting the group to sign on was fairly low keyed effort on my part. I just broached the subject, I explained it to them, they all kind of chewed on it, and then came back with, questions and concerns and things like that, and then I just turned it over to you folks, and that was the end of the problem. As far as a first roll through on making a donation of the RMD, even though it was going to go to 50-50 to two different funds, because they were both with the Alaska Community Foundation, I just had my investment advisors send one check, and I was done. It was absolutely no effort. I didn't fill out any paperwork. I didn't do anything. Oh, well, I had to fill out a paper for the investment advisors, but they mainly filled in everything, and I did. All I had to do was sign. So it's a pretty simple, stress-free, low-effort thing to do, and quite frankly, as you age, you like to simplify things in your life, because everything is another level of effort that maybe you're not feeling up to doing at that particular time. So making it simple is a pretty important aspect, which is one of the arguments I give to the boards about dealing with estate giving and those kinds of things to our senior members, that if you make it easy and they can roll it right into their plan without any effort at all, hardly, then you'll see results, because there will be a certain segment that will respond.
And I know I've asked the question different ways, but you keep giving me good other angles and aspects and comments, so that's really helpful. Because when I ask one time and you say one thing, it's great, and I ask a different thing and you'll say it really helps. I think this is great. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Boy, I can't think of anything right offhand. Of course, my concern of the impact of the new tax law is still yet to be determined. I guess we just don't know enough about everything until the rules come out and our tax folks can look at it and see, because I am concerned that it will have a negative impact, perhaps. Mm-hmm. And in my particular case, because I focused on the RMD, is some benefit that I see right now from a tax write-off standpoint going to be changed? Mm-hmm. That's my main concern. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's other concerns rolled into that, but that's my main concern is how is this going to change the landscape?
And we're going to have, and I'll turn this off right now, but we're right after, the reason I have to leave is that I'm going to have